Hello guys, we have another game here. This time we have Dynasty once again playing the Abbasid Dynasty in the color blue against his opponent playing as the Delhi Sultanate in the color of pink. It is C1P. Oh, this is a match that is very hard for Abbasid, I would say. Just because the Delhi Sultanate can push so many units at the beginning. And at the beginning is where the Abbasid are very vulnerable. So it's kind of like a gamble if they go for a second town center. And whether or not they can defend it, it will be, you know, it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard. I will say this matchup is really hard for Abbasid. Another thing they could do is just go for one town center and just try to fight the Delhi, but in that moment you're kind of like playing a game where you are both in equal conditions, right? So you don't want to fight that game. You don't want to play the Delhi game where, okay, you pump infantry, I pump infantry too, but he pumps faster. So that's the problem. So I'm curious to see how this turns out. Sipo should have a really good advantage here. And the problem with the Delhi is like it's very unidimensional. Like you cannot know where they're gonna go in the beginning, just because there is no benefit for them to go in castle. There is one guy that is actually, I think he's the only guy that I see that plays Delhi very differently, and that is a Chinese guy. I don't know the name, but he always goes to fast Imperial and gets elephants and gets siege. And he always confuses everyone there. And I bet nobody actually really notice it's him because it's a Chinese name and maybe you don't really remember the characters. But you know, it's the only Delhi player I've seen that have done something different and put something different into the table. Oh my god. Economic wing coming up for the Abbasid. Now that's something I didn't really expect. Like, I can expect cultural wing. So in castle you have a easier time against Delhi. I will expect military wing because you're gonna fight in the village. But economic wing is usually the wing that you use against civilizations that are really not that aggressive, like Chinese, for example. They're just gonna boom, and they just go, okay, I just go economic wing. And I don't know if he's gonna go 3 town centers. He's gonna be able to get up the second town center really quickly, that's for sure. But 3 town centers not gonna. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, to be honest. But we will see. We will see. For those of you who don't know, economic wing actually give you access to these upgrades, and the one you get on the feudal age, it's the fertile crescent, which reduces the cost of economic buildings and houses by 30%. So that includes town centers, which is the biggest discount. And you're gonna go from 400 wood, I believe you go to 300 something, and I think it's 285 stone if I remember right. I'm most likely I'm wrong, but look at that beautiful structure behind the dome. And I'm really curious about this one. I'm really curious about this one. It's like it's gonna be a fun one, guys. It's gonna be a fun one. That's for sure. That's for sure. Meanwhile, Delhi already there with the Tower of Victory, meaning he's up for some blood. And it's gonna be opening up with the classic stable. It's gonna be getting some gassy raiders out really fast with the scholars. And he's gonna be having some map control, and then he's gonna be mixing some infantry units like archers and spearmen maybe. Meanwhile, Don Artie already researching Fertile Crescent. Does he have fresh food stuff already there? So all these villages are gonna cost really little. Meanwhile, I'm wondering if C1 knows about this. I mean, We don't have information whether he scalped the wing or not. Most likely, yes. But you mostly need information of where is the next town center. And this is a really good spot, obviously. It has the berries, it has the deer, a little bit of wood. So it's very, very nice. But it's very exposed. It is very exposed. And well, blacksmith are already going there for C1. It's gonna be pumping more units. And town center is gonna be finished now. It's gonna be really finished. And it looks like he doesn't have any plan to go for a third town center. It's just gonna be a second one. Gassy Raider already here, but looks like he arrived a little bit too late. Town center is gonna come up. Now there's a... If Don Nari fights here, he doesn't have access to bootcamp, which will give all his archers quite a lot of health. And arguably, he saved some resources on this town center, but at what cost? If you're only going for a second town center, what's the... I really want to know what's the reason you go for the economic wing. I mean, it's really hard to go for a third one, I agree. In this matchup. I mean, you can already tell, even with 2 town centers, he's having quite a bit of trouble here. He managed to take down the first villager, sending more gassy raiders here. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Delhi. Double blacksmith. This pretty much indicates that this guy's just gonna fight in the field age. This his hunger for more. Now the good thing is town center can now garrison up to 8 villagers, so that's definitely a buff for this kind of ships where they go for 2 or more TCs. Stable gonna go up for Don Ari. Now remember, Abbasid Spearmen do have the unique upgrade for extra range attack, which is very, very good against the horseman. So it's gonna be having a good time. No archers there for C1. Gotta be careful. Do not go too deep into the fire here. Gonna get burned. I'm sure I say that wrong, just because I don't know exactly the right word for this one in English. Get too close to the fire, I guess. Deep into the fire sounds really strange to me. Let's take a look at Sipo. It's like, okay, only 1 town center. We take that. And really, no other advantage other than getting your second town center really fast. I think that's what he wanted. You know, economic wing really... It actually makes sense now. Like, if you don't really plan to fight in the field age that long, just go economic wing, get that second town center, and you save some resources that technically they are the same equivalent of aging up, right? Already, the quick reaction here managed to save the villager. That's a lot of gassy raiders. Archers are gonna come for the daily soon, and he's now capturing sacred sites in the middle. More and more units coming for C1, and this is where it gets really, really scary for the Abbasid, because the Delhi is just gonna keep pumping more units. Have all these scholars here. Well, they're actually capturing the sacred sites, but I'm gonna put the scholars there eventually, and they're gonna be able to pump more and more units. Meanwhile, C1 just deep dive into the second town center. Villagers just fighting for their life. Does he have textiles? No textiles yet. Be thinking about getting some textiles just to stay ahead on that villager count. He's already almost 10 villagers ahead, which is really, really good. Double broadaxe coming up for him, as well as more and more buildings. He's gonna be having 3 archer range, a couple of barracks. And remember, these guys shoot really fast. Lots lots of spearmen gonna go down here for Don Ari. Doesn't look really good for Don Ari at the moment, except for the fact that he's ahead economically. His opponent have definitely the map control. He lost some units here. That's it. These kind of battles at the beginning, you don't really want to lose. Otherwise, it's gonna be really hard for you to come back into the game. The more you lose, the more your opponent gets. Like, the bigger his army and the smaller your army is, the more battles you lose. Suddenly, there is a big gap between the two, and it's just really hard. Walls coming up here for C1, meaning he's gonna be pretty safe with that sacred site income, gold, passive gold income. Gassy Raiders gonna do the best thing they can do. It's raid, and more archers coming up for Don Ari. Getting the spearman upgrade. Villagers fighting for their life. More villagers going down, but so far only 4. I will say still a win for Don Ari, considering he's on a second town center. Wolf gonna be working for Don Ari now. Meanwhile, the Delhi just pumping more units, more archery range, more stables. It's looking really good at the moment. Having some berries here, still have some berries in the back, some deer at the front. So he's fine. He's fine. He has plenty of food for a big army. Oh my god, we're already 11 minutes into the game. We haven't checked the income per minute. Don Ari with 900 wood per minute. How many archers you need? He says, yes sir, that's how many. And the houses cost... The houses also cost 50? No way. Oh, there you go, 35. I was checking out the other player. That's actually... While minimal investment, it's like, if you think about it, if you build 10 houses, that's like 150 resources, which is not a lot if you talk in terms of Imperial Age, but in terms of Feudal Age, that pretty much, it's like a couple of villagers, if you think about it. A couple of archers. Look at the range of the spearman, man. Sorry, I got some issues here. There you go. There you go. It's having some problems with the recording. But anyway, more walls coming here. Gotta be securing the sacred sites. 3 sacred sites already there. Timer already there for a sacred site victory approaching. Meanwhile, villagers just gathering gold just to get some upgrades. But they're gonna be thrown off by the Gassy Raiders. It's beautiful to see, like, how economic win actually really works in this kind of situations where you shouldn't go for it. Like, only second town center, not too greedy, more archery ranges, more houses. Why not? They are in discount. It's like pretty much like my grandfather, my dad buy houses. Like, it's just buy plenty of those just because they're so cheap. That's pretty much the real estate industry here. It's in a good shape. In a good shape. Meanwhile, Don Ari already have 20 villagers ahead. Now, don't forget about the sacred victory approaching for C1. That's definitely something you should not underestimate. And there's plenty of archers for Don Ari. Already 39 on the field, is reaching the critical mass. You can just A-click and just kill plenty of archers. Spearman, and try to connect with the Gassy Raiders. And now more Spearman taking down Gassy Raiders. Gassy Raiders not being able to do any kind of damage because you already have so many archers here. They're just pretty much one-shotting pretty much everyone. Spearman already dead. Gonna be careful not to lose this mass. Spearman already arrived. It's like, let's keep pushing, guys. Forget about the Spearman. This is where it's at. This is where it's at, guys. And archers, looks like this is a fight that Don Ari will take, but military numbers for C1 still looking really good for him at the moment. So just keep pumping more units. He has the sacred sites. He has plenty of gold. At this point, consider buying a market, buy some food, pump more units. And I feel like while he still has plenty of units, he cannot kill Don Ari yet. And look at this. He's going for a farm transition. Cheap farms as well. For 53 wood each. Gonna love that. Gonna love that. Also the beauty of going economic wing against the Delhi in this matchup. I never really considered thinking that, you know, a feudal battle may last a little bit long and I may need farms in the future. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. More production buildings coming for C1. More archery range stable. It's like, meanwhile, one guy is focusing on the economy, another guy just focusing on pretty much pumping units. And he is really printing a lot of them. I build a tower here just in case to be safe with those farms. And so far, I feel like Don Ari is in a really good spot, just because he already is having the farm transition. How many farms? He has 15 farms, not bad at all. Not bad at all. He had to delete some lumber camps. Gotta be careful not to lose the golden age. I have tier 2. Tier 3 is almost impossible to reach, man, to be honest. It's like, I don't know how long the game needs to last to actually get tier 3. At C1, coming for a raid again. Problem is, he has been taking fights, but he haven't really focused on the target here. Like the main focus should be here, taking down the town center, because otherwise you have the situation where you are almost 30 villagers behind, and at the beginning it's quite easy because your opponent is just not really leveraging the benefits of the second town center. But now it's much harder, and now he's going for military wing. It's gonna be looking really good for him. There's plenty of villagers on gold. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Delhi. Delhi just massing more archers, but I feel like Don Ardi already have so many archers. 6 archery ranges going up for him. And with the military wing, he can just upgrade those archers, get composite bows, and just have a blast. And you really just have a blast. It's like House of Learning is gonna go up for C1 as well. He may be smelling that, hey, you know what? My opponent may be aging up. And remember, behind all this, there's still a sacred site counter with 3 minutes. A couple of units here just to make sure he doesn't decapture the sacred sites. It's gonna be really hard to actually not decap those, just because there are no other defensive structures, such as like an outpost with some sprinkled emplacements here will really do very good for a C1. 33 minutes. He reached the castle age, gets veterancy for Gassy Raiders and Archers, but they're gonna take a while. It's gonna take 1 minute, 2 minutes pretty much. Meanwhile, Spearman just doing what they do best, 100% attack range. Military wing almost there for Donati. He has plenty of resources to get all those upgrades. And let's see which upgrades he gets. Veterancy for archers, +2 range attack, and composite bows. Just as I said, he gets all this. The trinity, man. This is the trinity of the Abbasid. And then a Mangonel. Like if you age up with 40-something archers and you get all those 3 upgrades at the same time, you gotta be in a really good spot. Now the question is he gonna be able to decapture the sacred sites? It's 2 minutes left. There is walls here. Not enough military units for Donati to actually take down a wall really fast. So there's definitely a time here where Donati really needs to make a big push. Mangonel already here. Looks like C1 already scouted the Mangonel. He knows about it. He doesn't want to fight it. And plenty of units around this. Look at this. These archers, how fast they shoot. 33% attack speed. Wonderful. And it looks like he's gonna give up on the sacred side. I mean, he does have the Mangonel there. He's gonna try to snipe the Mangonel from behind with the Gassy Raiders. Looks like he's gonna do it. But not so without losing a lot of his Gassy Raiders mass. Donardi is struggling with those archers. Actually, only 29 on the field, but they are already upgraded. And at this point, he's just gonna be pumping more and more units. Meanwhile, C1 needs to wait for a long time for his upgrades to finish. And just Donardi just pumping units like if he was rich. Like just the rich neighbor, you know? This is pretty much how many military buildings you have. 13 military buildings. Just 13 military buildings, nothing to be worried about. Well, more units coming here for Donardi. And now he reached finally the base of C1, but in the meantime, C1 has been grabbing relics. He already has 2 of them. 4 more, probably having 4 already, but he didn't manage to put them inside the mosque. And now C1 is struggling. He's going for a farm transition. He has almost enough sun to put a keep here. A keep here will definitely give him plenty of time. But he is running out of it and he taps out. Well played by these 2 players. I hope you enjoyed this match. And I'll see you in the next one. I put a link in the description where you can follow Donardi too.